Look at that. Look at the reactivity. Look at the speed on Ciryl, man. Cyryl's not, like, you're not going to gliderman skill him. I'm done with it, man. They're like this stupid, oh, dude, he's going to get liderman skill. Shut up. Built like a Miami beauty. Built like he kind of fruity. Built like a hurricane come through when he got a tootie. Built like he Call of Duty. Built like he kind of cutie. All right, y'all got to calm me down because this nigga got some crazy booty. All right. I got to be, listen, why are you guys clapping? Am I even rapping? This is not even like a joking rap. This is me being dead ass. This nigga got a wagon on him. Guys, let's talk about Alex Pereira, guys. And let's talk about how I honestly don't think this dude is ready for heavyweight. And I know people, oh, Ken, you're just saying this because I'm not. Keep it coming, baby. Keep it coming. Man, I wanted to make this video, and this is like, I'm going to do my stylistic breakdown when it gets closer to the White House card, and I'm going to tell you guys how I break down the fight. But I don't think Alex Pereira is actually ready for the heavyweight move, guys. I think this weight class is dangerous in some aspects. I do think in a holistic point of view, Alex Pereira at heavyweight equates to him doing really bad things to 99% of these blobs. Don't get it twisted. Don't get this video confused about Alex Pereira doesn't succeed in heavyweight. Alex Pereira beats literally not like every heavyweight aside from maybe like 3. In my opinion, maybe 2, maybe 3. You know, it depends. We're going to talk about like those heavyweights specifically in this video, but if you're a blob heavyweight and you think you're going to be Alex Pereira, may God have mercy on your soul. Like if you're a blob pulling up like, yeah, man, I showed up to the gym and I'm ready to go. He's going to nearly kill you in there. But this is the thing about Alex Pereira, guys. Look at the size on him. Look at the disproportionate weight. Look at him at 185 first of all. How did he ever make that weight? That's going to be Joe Rogan like 5 seconds into that fight. How did this guy ever make middleweight? How did this guy ever fight at 185? And it's a good question. When Alex Pereira was actually cutting down to this weight, guys, he had the advantage of he's cutting down as a bigger guy. He rehydrates to a bigger weight on fight night. Heavyweights are naturally bigger dudes, guys. And like we've seen somebody jump a high weight class. Like when Islam went from 155 to 170, that was a big jump because that's a 15-pound jump. That took Islam about not 10 months, but like his last fight was 10 months. His last fight at 155 was 10 months, I believe. And then he fought at 170. So between then, he had a lot of time to gain muscle. I think Islam gained the muscle appropriately and perfectly, if I might add, you know. It's going to be 8 months by the time he fights in the White House since he fought at 205. Now, this is different. Like, he's supposed to be gaining a lot more weight than Islam. And I feel like Islam talked about how hard it was to actually gain the weight, even though he did it. But I feel like he did it perfectly, and he took a longer time to do it than Alex Pereira. I see Alex Pereira lifting, guys, and he's getting good size on him, you know, but I think it's slowing him down a bit, and I think it's actually doing more negative things than positive things. Like, I'm going to play this clip of you guys. I'm just going to play this clip for you guys and let you guys see what I'm talking about. Pereira's always going to be Pereira, guys. He's always going to be a heavy hitter, you know, quick hands, or like he had quick hands when he was in lower weight classes. Just take a look at this clip. Well, first of all, he's fucking Alex Pereira. So let's get that straight. He looks mean here. Alex Pereira is losing some speed to me. Like, and that's kind of warranted when you go up in weight, you know. But I feel like the thing with lighter men skill, guys, why that's an agenda people push is that typically the lighter man goes up and there's a significant speed advantage. And I do think Alex Pereira in this clip alone, like I'll play it while it's muted so you guys can see what I'm talking about. He has speed, guys. Like Pereira's always going to have speed, but it's a lot more kind of slower and a bit more telegraphed than it usually is. And of course, you're going to lose speed when you gain size, but typically that speed advantage that people talk about with lighter men skill, I don't think is going to be as significant against Ciryl Gane specifically. And this is where the situational matchup actually comes into it. He's fighting Ciryl Gane, guys. When you go up to heavyweight, 9 times out of 10, you're fighting blobs like who look like hobos on the street who are just big and sluggish, and you kill them. Alex Pereira happens to be fighting someone who moves like a welterweight at the higher weight class. So when people say lighter men skill, if you're going to push that agenda prior to the fight, I want you to push that agenda understanding that Lighter men's skill is pushed because the speed and kind of like the overall skill is going to be overwhelming for the weight class above. It would be a point to push if the guy he was fighting wasn't a Ciryl Gane, or if he wasn't in talks with people like Tom Aspinall. Like I said in the start of the video, there's certain heavyweights I think give him a hard time. It's Ciryl Gane and Tom Aspinall primarily. And it's because they move a lot different than the typical heavyweights we see. They move a lot quicker and they carry some good power and they're just really good strikers. I always said that Ciryl Gane was the best striker. I said before the Tom Aspinall fought Ciryl Gane that it was going to be his hardest fight. I got laughed at like I usually do when I have some of these takes that make a lot of sense, but people aren't trying to hear it. Just like I'm probably going to get laughed at people saying, nah, what do you mean, dude? He looks fucking, Pereira looks great. Like this is like, he looks like an optimal, strong, handsome, strong looking heavyweight. What are you talking about? You know, and they're like, probably going to look at this clip and be like, he's moving fast. Pereira always moves fast, guys, but like I'm just saying, a lot more of these shots seem a bit slower than what I'm used to seeing from Pereira, which takes away or almost defeats the purpose of the lighter man skill. And the lighter man skill narrative just doesn't work as well as it should be when you're going against a next generation heavyweight who also moves very well for the weight class. Ciryl Gane has lighter man skill in heavyweight. He's the part of the lighter man skill movement, and not lighter man skill in the essence of he's coming up from a very small weight class or 205 or 185. He's a lighter man. He has a lighter man skill in the aspect of he moves better than these guys, and he still hits with some good power, and he's still naturally a bigger guy. Ciryl Gane's naturally a bigger guy than Alex Pereira. He doesn't need to gain more weight or gain more muscle. He's naturally the bigger guy, and he moves like this naturally. Alex Pereira is going up, and he's going to lose some of that natural speed that he has, and he might be carrying more power, which is great, but here's the thing. Alex Pereira, and this is what I've noticed about people who are huge guys who cut weight, the reason they weight bully, I'm going to call Pereira weight bully because you guys know he is. They weight bully so they can carry that weight at a lighter weight class and like kill these guys. Pereira still hit hard at 185. Like that's the truth. What people could sacrifice when they cut a lot of weight is like their durability. They keep their power. A lot of things you'll see from these bigger guys when they come down and they cut weight, like Michael Morales, who's like fucking 220 and cuts down to 170. He still carries that 220 power. Volkanovski still carries that fucking 200-pound strength. You can see it when he's stuffing takedowns. Bigger guys don't necessarily lose like that explosivity and that power when they cut weight because usually they rehydrate back up to a pretty sound weight and they're ready to swing and they're ready to take your head off. However, when you move up weight, like I said, Pereira's like he's gaining power, but is not as big as you guys probably would think. He's always been powerful. You know, he's never really been a one-punch power guy in MMA, at least. In his kickboxing days, we've seen it. In MMA, I've already pushed this narrative. He's never really had that one-hitter quitter in MMA. Jamal Hill is probably the best example, and to be honest, he didn't one-hit quit Jamal Hill. He dropped Jamal Hill, and he finished him with ground and pound. Like, I say that, and people really get frustrated at me, and I don't really know why they hate me for saying something that's true. But, like, he hits hard. Don't get me. This is not saying he doesn't have power. He has power. You know, when he hits you, you're going to feel it. It causes reaction. But if people think he's going to come with like some crazy power, I just don't think it's going to translate as much as you guys think against naturally bigger guys at heavyweight. Especially Ciryl Gane, who people are going to be like, oh, well, he got dropped by Tuivasa. Look how much knockouts Tuivasa has. That guy has heavyweight knockout power. Tuivasa actually has more knockout power, in my opinion, than Alex Pereira. I said it, you know, when he ate a clean one from Tuivasa. Tuivasa, when he hits guys, he don't fucking move, dude. Yeah. You know, I'm probably going to get clipped and they're like, oh, you're just saying shit. Tuivasa has no knockouts, whatever. They can say what they want, but I really think Tuivasa carries more natural heavyweight power than Alex Pereira. So this is the problem with Alex Pereira. He's going up in weight. He's losing that speed that he once had at a lighter weight class. And the power that he's gaining, I'm not looking at it to be that significant to a point where it's going to sleep his oppositions. And that brings me to my next point. Speaking of sleeping oppositions, guys. What do we see over the weekend, guys? We saw Alex Pereira's main training partner get absolutely slept by Sergey Pavlovich. And oh my God, I made this tweet. You know, it got like 200K views, whatever. They were so mad at me in the comments. Bro, like people get so tilted at me for saying like nothing. Like some people are like, oh, I can't wait to see what you say when Alex Pereira wins. They all start to immediately cope and like go on the defensive, bro. And I think this comment's pretty sound. This guy said, I think Taliesin is a training partner because he's super tall and can get Pereira accustomed to this size of heavyweights. It also helps that he's Brazilian. Yes, I do think that Taliesin Teixeira is a good training partner for his height, but respectfully, Ciryl Gane's 6'5". You could find people who are around 6'5" who are better strikers. Teixeira is 6'7". You know, he's a bigger than normal. Like he's a Volkov. You don't really see that much, so I kind of disagree with that. There, you see these people saying can't wait for June 14th. You know, for my tears. For some reason, people are under the impression that if Alex Pereira loses or wins, I'm gonna be upset. I don't know why. Don't ask me, guys. Like they just like people just hang on to like things that they think are. Oh, I think Kenny hates Pereira still. So you know, I can't wait for your tears. I don't care if Pereira wins. Like, I'd be happy if he becomes a 3 division champion. I don't give a shit. But of course, people are gonna say that because they have some kind of anger towards me. Then this person says John Jones' main training partner was Maurice Green, by the way, and it's just like them coping and it's them trying to like justify this guy getting nearly killed in there. If you guys didn't see the clip, I'll like have it playing in the background. Sergey Pavlovich just speed mogged him and put him to sleep. You know, absolutely speed mogged him and showed Teixeira heavyweight strength. You know, Teixeira, like I said, training with Alex Pereira, you would think is a positive for him, but he could eat Pereira's punches pretty comfortably. Because no offense to Pereira, he's not hitting like a Sergey Pavlovich. Sergey Pavlovich has more knockout power than Alex Pereira. Now I'm gonna say that again. They're gonna get frustrated on me because they're gonna think I'm saying what I'm saying is not true. But like I said, these two Ivasas, these Sergey Pavlovich, they carry more natural heavyweight power, so they get finishes like this. You can see like Teixeira, he might have not got slept, guys, but you can see when Teixeira was out of it. Like that, it was right here. Boom. Boom. The follow-ups. Look at him. The way he face planted there, he was out, man. That dude was out. Like he wanted no part of that. He was already out of there. And it's the hand speed of Sergey that I feel like he was kind of caught off guard with because he doesn't expect these bigger heavyweights to have hand speed like this. Because Alex Pereira, it looks quicker than some of the punches Alex Pereira be throwing. You know, which brings you to my other person I was gonna say. Ciryl Gane, Tom Aspinall, and I also think Sergey Pavlovich could even give Alex Pereira problems because the hand speed, we know Alex Pereira struggles with straight punches, you know. And it's one thing, people saying Jones' main partner was Maurice Green. Jones was beating the dog shit out of him in the clips I've seen. I've looked at some training clips of John Jones, and that's not even true. I've seen John Jones train with multiple people, but they're trying to push the narrative, oh, his main training partner is this guy. Jones trains with people and he like it's like saying like Hamza's main training partner is someone shit, and it is. It's that fucking what's that fucking showboater's name? You guys know who I'm talking about. That guy who always showboats, but I always think it's mid. Yeah, that's Hamza's main training partner for the striking, you know. Hamza's a primary grappler. You know, there's certain situations, like there's certain things that align with why that makes sense, you know. But it'd be different if Alex Pereira was like putting it on Teixeira. Guys, in these clips I see, first of all, Teixeira's defense looks the same in these clips as they do in sparring. Like Teixeira's always kind of has his chin in the air because he's a naturally taller guy, which is why someone like Sergey could exploit that with his hand speed and just land a 1-2 straight down the pipe, something that Pereira also struggles with because he also has his hands pretty low in his sparring. But it's the fact that when they do spar, Pereira and Teixeira, like they're both eating like shots from each other. I honestly think Pereira looks like he's getting the worst in some of these sparring exchanges. You know, I'll play the sparring clip so you guys know what I'm saying. Oh, just running into shots, man. Eating jabs, hands really low. Teixeira is so bad too. Like Teixeira just chin in the air, just like, oh, Pereira knocked him out.
Pega o corpo. Meu pai caçando o cara. Essa, Pata, essa que eu falei com você. Já chega baixando.
Oh, like Pereira is just like, oh my god. And people think I'm being rude. Like, they're going to be like, oh, you're just, oh, I can't, oh, you're just a hater. Like, that's everyone's default because when they see things and they know what you're saying is true, they get more frustrated because the truth that's coming with it. Pereira's defense never been sound. I'm going to be honest with Pereira. Like, against Ankalaev, the first fight, we kind of all saw it. Against Adesanya, we see a lot of times, specifically with 1-2s, Khalil Roundtree showed it too. Pereira's not the best at evading shots. Like, this is not a secret. When he hits flow state and people start to fatigue, like when Khalil started fatigue, Pereira does a good job getting out the way. Because when they're tired and the punches are more labored, they get out the way quickly. But if you're decently sharp, and let me tell you right now, Ciryl Gane's a pretty sharp striker. He's not like someone who's going to just throw and be tired and look sloppy like Khalil Roundtree. You're going to land on Pereira, you know. And Ciryl Gane has some sleeper, like precision power. You know, it might not be the hardest hits, but he'll find ways to rock people, you know. Pereira's not necessarily hard to hit flush, and this is where a problem starts to occur, where you're at a bigger weight class for the first time. I don't even think your cardio is going to be where it usually is. Your hands aren't as fast as they usually are. You're getting tagged up by people like Taliesin Teixeira in practice who get nearly killed by anyone who's adequate and quick in the heavyweight division. And, you know, and the fact that Teixeira is landing these shots on you, trust me when I say a more proficient kickboxer and Muay Thai fighter like Ciryl Gane is going to have no problem landing flush on you. You struggle with Muay Thai against Khalil. Khalil fatigued, so he lost. If you're relying on Ciryl Gane to fatigue, look how much times he went 5 rounds. The people who he went 5 rounds with, too, I believe have more knockout power than you. I'm sure people in the comments going to be like, nah, I don't think Ngannou hits as hard as Alex Pereira, but I'm sure they're just diluted in their own special way, like a little bit special, guys. This is a problem, man. It's a problem, man. I'm telling you, Pereira's going to get licked up against a faster, cleaner striker than Teixeira, known as Ciryl Gane. Just keep looking how he eats these punches. Lack of defense. Boom. Oh. He's just so hittable. So hittable. And that's round. Listen, so I wanted to show people that because a lot of people in this were saying, Jones had a main sparring part. Jones isn't getting embarrassed by the likes of Maurice Green. Like these people who's trained with other people, they're not getting, and I'm not saying Pereira got embarrassed in that clip. He just got tagged up by someone who's not that adequate in striking, especially against someone speedy and someone fast. If Sergey Pavlovich, I don't even say if they spar together. If these two spar together, we already know how it's gonna end. Sergey's gonna beat him up every round, and it'll be a very one-sided beatdown. What you want to see with Pereira when he's going against these heavyweights is kind of like lighter man skill prevail. I will say, I don't know if you guys seen Ciryl Gane and Mavov spar. You can see that both of them are scrappy, but Mavov's lighter man skill and his speed and his hands show. But of course, Mavov is a lot lighter than Pereira. But my point is, you can see the speed difference when Mavov and Ciryl Gane spar. Whereas when these two spar, since Pereira's gaining the weight like I said he is, but like I said, he's getting in a bit weird, so I don't think he throws with as much speed as he usually does. You can see that there's not really a distinct speed advantage between these two. I don't really see someone throwing faster. I see Pereira still relying on his quick instincts and his defensive capabilities that he does have. Pereira can lean back and fire back. He did it when he was a bit lighter, but I don't see that same speed that he naturally has. I just don't see that in these new clips I've been seeing of him, whether it's him hitting bags or him hitting pads with Glover or it's him sparring someone. That natural speed that he had at the lighter weight class, he's starting to lose it. And I feel like that's actually one of his best weapons, because when Pereira hits flow state, one thing I've noticed about him is that he does a really good job just barely getting out the way and firing back with some quick combos. When your hand speed starts to slow down, your power is it's not really improving to the likes of what I want to see. That's where I'm starting to say, okay, well, lighter man skill narrative, if you're picking Pereira because of lighter man skill, it might be a flawed logic. It might be a flawed point of picking. You can't pick someone and hope they're going to lighter man skill max someone who happens to be one of the better, quicker, more elusive, next level strikers in the heavyweight division. If this was Alex Pereira versus anyone else, I wouldn't be saying this. I'll be saying he has lighter man skill against Derek Lewis, against who else is not that great? Against Curtis Blades, against some of these guys who I would struggle with him when they're standing. I'll say he has lighter man skill against those people. I think if anyone has lighter man skill in this fight, it's Ciryl Gane. Yeah, baby, it's Ciryl Gane. Why not? Why can't I say Ciryl Gane has more lighter man skill? Have you seen Ciryl Gane move? I've seen Ciryl Gane's training footage. He looks a lot cleaner in a lot of the instances. He looks faster than Alex Pereira. For example, this is a note of comparison. This is Ciryl Gane sparring a 4-time Cuban boxing champion, Leonard Perez. And I want you to look at the speed difference. Of course, we just saw him, Pereira spar Teixeira. Pereira's he's a badass. Teixeira's a GOAT. Now look at... Yeah, man, that Teixeira dude, fucking 6'7", badass, dude. Now look at Ciryl Gane spar this 4-time Cuban boxing champion, and look at the difference. And as someone who has great expertise in boxing, guys, just look. I want you to look at the speed of Ciryl Gane, because I honestly think he's a faster striker than Alex Pereira. This is a good match. This is a good stylistic clash too. The boxer's fighting him really well, pressuring him when he puts his chin in the air. But look how Ciryl Gane just flows. Good check hook by Ciryl. Good jab by the Cuban. I would love like if Alex. I want to see Alex Pereira spar with people like who are gonna give him good work. No offense to Teixeira, that's not someone good to be sparring. You know, Ciryl Gane's looking at someone with a good primary boxer like this Cuban guy. You know, and he's getting his boxing game good. You know, Pereira has those good left hooks. Look at that. Look at the reactivity. Look at the speed on Ciryl, man. Cyryl's not like you're not gonna gliderman skill him. I'm done with it, man. They're like this stupid. Oh, dude, he's gonna get liderman skill. Shut up. Shut your mouth. He's not getting liderman skill. Do you see how he's moving? How are you going to liderman skill max that dude, bro? We're not Derek Lewis. We're fucking a next level Ciryl Gane like striker. You're not going to liderman skill us. Cut it out. Cut it the hell out, man. Fuck. Just look, he moves. He doesn't move like your average heavyweight. Ooh, look at that little shovel uppercut. This guy's giving Ciryl Gane really good work. Obviously, this guy's a better boxer than Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane's discipline is not boxing. Good head movement as well. Those are good rounds. Those are what you like to see, man. That's what I want to see, like Alex Pereira do in this heavyweight thing. Challenge yourself with people who are going to get you better. Like, I don't mind you sparring with Taliesin Teixeira. You know, people saying, oh, you're just trying to get used to fucking 6'7" heavyweights. Heavyweights aren't 6'7". That's actually not normal. Like, Volkov and Teixeira are kind of abnormal. I don't know if people don't know that. They're like not normal for that weight class. Go against like a 6'4" boxer, or go against someone who's gonna give you good work. You know, Sergey Pavlovich, like go against someone like that. Go against. You doesn't even have to be a known name. Just get good work with people who are actually gonna improve you, like get you better. You know, because man, when you're in there with someone like Ciryl Gane, you're like, wait, he's moving so much better than my training partners. It's hard to get a read on him, unlike my training partners. Why is he hitting harder than some of my training partners? Why is he more sharp than some of my training or all my training partners? This guy is a next generation or generational heavyweight. He's a next gen athlete. Everything about Ciryl Gane is abnormal. You can't have these Joe Schmoes who get knocked out in the first 20 seconds by people like Sergey Pavlovich and put them against and use them to get you ready for Ciryl Gane. He's not your average heavyweight. I wouldn't mind this if he's going against Volkov or he's going against some average heavyweight. You know, I wouldn't mind these training partners. You're not ready for heavyweight. I don't think Alex Pereira is ready for heavyweight. He gains the weight. He's gaining this weight in a kind of a quick manner where I feel like the weight's not even filling out in his body natural. I feel like it's all going to his cake. His weight's all going to his cake, man. And you got a wagon. I'll give him that. You got a wagon, you know. Brother, you could have a little bit of light. Maybe I squish a little bit. I don't know, brother. But that's not going to help you when Ciryl Gane's fucking tap dancing on you. Fucking hitting one of those tap dancing moves and just fucking jabbing and sticking and moving. Ciryl Gane's going to give him hell. I really think Ciryl Gane's going to give him hell. And I feel like if Alex Pereira doesn't try to tighten something up, may God have mercy on your soul, brother. This is not going to be an easy fight. And I know people in the comments going to have their opinion, but you can't change the fact that when you're prepping for someone like Ciryl Gane, you're going to need to go the full fucking 8 miles, bro. You got to go all the way. You got to get yourself prepared for him mentally, physically, and you got to have the right people with you and the right people around you. I feel like this could be one of those things that, like, he dares to be great, goes up to heavyweight and loses to one of the best. I don't know his plans after this. People keep saying he might go back down to 205. I don't think he's gonna do that. Like, after adding all this weight, then cutting it back down, it just doesn't really make sense. And he just seemed like the cut was getting hard for him. I get it, but like, you happen to be going against someone who stylistically is your hardest fight at heavyweight. I think maybe Tom Aspinall could be a good shout too, but I do think Ciryl Gane's striking. I haven't seen anyone be able to strike for him with 5 rounds straight, man. I thought Ngannou could do it, honestly, until Ngannou turned into Francis Nurmagomedov, because he was really just having a hard time keeping up with him. Same with Aspinall. I said it would happen. I said Aspinall would struggle to keep up with Ciryl Gane on the feet. No one believed me. I'm saying it now. It's not going to, and I'll say more when I do the stylistic breakdown, because you guys know I'm the best at that. It's not what you think if you think Alex Pereira is just going to go in there and just out kickbox Ciryl Gane. You know, both of them have kickboxing resume. You know, one of them's undefeated. One has a diverse, deep, undefeated streak in Muay Thai as well. I believe undefeated. Like this guy, Ciryl Gane, is better than you think. He's a better athlete than Alex Pereira, period. Understand that. So this whole lighterman skill narrative that you guys are pushing in hopes that Alex Pereira is going to win because he has lighterman skill, if that's why you're picking Alex Pereira after this video, I'm sure it's going to change your mind. But let me know your thoughts down below. I'm all for it. That's it for me. Have a good one, brother. God bless. 2, 3, 4.